If you run a bakery, a pizzeria, you know the deal. Dough is everything. I mean, it is the absolute foundation of your entire business. But what happens when that foundation starts to feel like it's cracking under the pressure, day in and day out? Well, today we're going to unpack a piece of equipment that's designed to solve that exact problem. So does this picture look a little too familiar? That feeling of wrestling with these huge batches of dough, the clock is just ticking away, and you're kind of just crossing your fingers hoping this batch comes out as good as the last one. That's a ton of pressure, and it's sitting right at the heart of your operation.
And you know that pressure? It breaks down into some very real, very expensive problems. We're talking about dough that's inconsistent. That can really hurt your reputation. And the labor costs that just eat away at your profits. The whole process is slow, it's physically brutal on your staff, and it puts a hard cap on how much you can actually sell. All of that stuff, it hits your bottom line, and it hits it hard.
So yeah, let's just call it what it is, the baker's daily struggle. It's that crazy moment when your most important ingredient, your dough, suddenly feels like the biggest obstacle you've got to climb over every single day.
But what if that struggle just wasn't part of the equation anymore? Seriously, just take a second and picture it. Every single batch of dough that comes out of the mixer is perfect. Not just good, but consistently, reliably perfect. And with less effort and more efficiency. That's the dream, right?
Well, that dream is what brings us to what could be a revolution for your kitchen. We're going to zero in on a specific solution here, the HS60 commercial spiral mixer. It's a machine built from the ground up to be the answer to all those struggles we were just talking about.
And here's the crucial thing to understand. This isn't just about swapping one machine for a newer one. No. The source material frames this as a real strategic business decision. It's an investment that targets the three pillars of any great food business: consistency, efficiency, and just plain rock-solid reliability.
So, how does it actually do it? Well, it all comes down to what the source calls engineered excellence. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, the mechanics that promise to deliver that perfect dough batch after batch.
Okay, now this slide gets to the heart of it, the difference in the technology itself. See, traditional mixers can sometimes beat up the dough, they can tear it or overwork it. But the spiral hook on the HS60, it's designed to mimic the gentle but firm action of kneading by hand. This develops the gluten structure just right, which gives you that smooth, elastic, and perfectly aerated dough that you need for incredible products.
Now let's talk about scale. The first number that just jumps out at you is the bowl capacity, 64 liters. I mean, to put that into perspective for a commercial kitchen, that one number represents a massive leap in how much you can produce in a day.
And what that 64-liter capacity really unlocks is true high-volume production. It means you can finally stop that endless cycle of making small batch after small batch. Instead, you make one large, consistent batch, and that simple change can completely streamline your entire kitchen's workflow and save a frankly incredible amount of time.
And paired with that giant bowl is the flour capacity, an impressive 25 kilograms. And this isn't just for light, fluffy doughs. This is about having some serious power. Because that 25 kilo capacity means this machine is built to handle the really heavy, dense stuff. Think bagels, hearty artisan breads, without ever straining the motor. It gives you reliability right when you need it most, during your absolute busiest, most chaotic shifts.
And that reliability, it's not some happy accident. It is baked right into the DNA of this machine. You can see it right here, from the heavy-duty commercial-grade build to the high-torque motor that's literally designed for continuous, daily abuse. But it's also built with safety in mind, with guards and an emergency stop. This thing isn't a kitchen gadget, it's a workhorse, engineered to last.
So we've got the power, we've got the capacity, the reliability. What does it all add up to? Well, it leads to a complete business transformation. We're shifting away from the machine's features now and looking at the real-world impact on your bottom line, moving from those daily hurdles to a clear path for actual growth.
I mean, the change is just dramatic when you lay it out side by side like this. In the before column, you see high labor costs, slow production, and quality that's totally dependent on which employee is working that shift. But then you look at the after side. With a machine like the HS60, you see a huge drop in those costs, faster production, and consistently perfect quality. And that last one, that's the key. That gives you the confidence you need to actually scale your business.
And visually, it looks something like this. You see that first bar? That's your old capacity. Then you see the second one, the massive jump in capacity with the HS60. But the most important bar on this chart is the third one, because that is the potential for business growth that gets unlocked when your production is no longer the bottleneck.
Okay,
so I've looked at the problem, the mechanics, and the business impact. Let's bring this all home and talk about kneading your success. What is the final, crucial takeaway from all this?
There's this one quote from the source material that just says it all. It's not just about mixing dough, it's about kneading success into every batch. The focus totally shifts from a simple chore to a core business philosophy. You're literally embedding quality into every single thing you sell.
And really, that's what it all boils down to. A tool like this empowers you to create better products, and better products lead to happier, more loyal customers. And that customer loyalty, that's the fuel that lets a business not just get by, but truly thrive.
So we'll just end on this question. It's not really about whether you need a new mixer. It's about whether your business is ready to move past that daily struggle and build a foundation for real, sustainable growth. Is your business ready to thrive?